Okay, are we live? I said, are we live? And am I audible? VigilanteWilliamson here on another episode of me playing games. But I'm not playing games. I'm playing Tekken. It's been a minute since I played Tekken. I need to get some more reps in. I'm not trying to rap. So, yeah. Time for some All Might Paul. Oh, no, I'll do Weird Pants Ball. Shout out to anyone who's watching this live on the playback. Shout out to any new subs. Ton of new subs this month. I'd say the best organic month I've had in my 3 years on YouTube, and certainly in this new channel. So I'm cool with it. Cool with it. Trying to figure out what to do with this cord, this mic cord. I always fuck that up, so I don't use it. Let's see. So it's been a minute. I'm probably gonna get wrecked. That's fine. That is fine. A little bit of an early start. Better early than late. There you go. There you go. And I got the blue spot. Let's see what happens. Well, early for the time I set. I should say that. Still pretty late. I usually like to get these started on Sunday night games, but I have not. I wish I was. It was because I finally helped fix up the studio, or because I went out, which were both the plan. But instead, I took a nap. So there's that. It's hard, I got to recover from my work week, and I did a couple videos. One is already out about the Lomachenko Haney fight. I got another one coming out tomorrow morning. That'll probably be it. So shout out to anyone who subbed because of that video or because of that stream. Hell, low spec Linux laptop in the chat. Still haven't got the chat box up. That's something I need to do. Oh man, come on. Did I not replace my thing? I might have been on me. That was nice. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Cool. First round back. Nice. That's what I get for being so fucking aggressive. Stop hitting buttons so much. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Got her. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Damn it. Damn it. That was terrible. That was nice. Shit, that was stupid. I'm paying for my stupidity. Got him. Oops. Trying to skip this. We'll do a revenge. That was pretty good. Pretty good warm up for the first one back. Sorry I'm so silent. Usually I try to talk more, but I'm just not in Tekken form. Just haven't been playing as much since the tournament last month. But I want to rev that back up. I still have a soft dream of making it to Evo this year. I want to at least be decent. You know what I mean? I'm nowhere near where I need to be. Damn it, getting fucked up. Nice. Keep spamming that thing. She can punish that though. She don't know that. So. Oh man. Got him. So yeah, sorry I'm so silent. Actually trying to focus on the game somewhat. Damn it. I was stupid too. Nice. Being too aggressive. Guys. Oh, man. Nice. Again, sorry about the silence. All right. Alrighty. Got through that one. Sorry again. I'm actually focusing. I'm sorry for saying sorry, man. You know, I just feel like usually when I first started doing these gaming streams, back when it was the Mario 64 streams, on the old channel a couple years ago, I think they were based more on the talking than the gaming. And so I still try to deliver that. But, you know, a lot of that was the chat. Shout out to Rough Girl. I haven't seen her in a minute. She was there on those streams. Kai would be there. Just reset this and I'll listen. Still got the old mic preamp. Hopefully after this week, I don't know. I don't know when I can get everything done. But hopefully that won't be as much of an issue anymore. So I guess in my head, I'm like, man, I should be talking more. But at the same time, I don't want to just get wrecked. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like I said, I do tie. It's one of the few games I kind of take somewhat serious, right? So. Sorry for the silence, but I appreciate anyone watching the violence and watching this live, playback, whatever. Guess I could ramble about the fucking Loma Haney fight, man. I'm surprised at the reaction. Because that was a very, very close fight. Very close fight. This was not it could have been rigged because it's fucking boxing, but it wasn't a runaway rivalry. There's that one curious card, but there's a lot of swing rounds, too. There's a lot of swing rounds. So if you give all the swing rounds to one guy, well, yeah, you do get a dominant card. Hey, it's this oppressive Eastoy himself, Cinch and Dildo. How you doing? I think it's just you and Low Spec here right now. I was about to ramble about the Loma Haney fight, which to me was not a robbery. It was a very close fight. I say not a robbery. It's boxing. I cannot say it wasn't rigged because I don't know. Oh, come on. That's not nice. No. Don't do all these things. Oh, shit. That's it. See, the second I start talking, I start getting wrecked.
Round 2. Fight.
See? See? Even though I ain't saying nothing. So I really can't blame you guys. but still, I can blame you for that. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Sitting there blaming you like like a single mother blames her children for all her mistakes. Yes. Okay, I guess I can't say anything because I actually won that round. But I was gonna rant about the Loma fight because I'm very surprised it's been such a polarizing decision. Not to say I don't understand why people think Loma won. I definitely do. It was just such a close fight. The first time I saw it, I said it was a draw. I thought a draw. I still think a draw would have been a better decision. Second time I saw it with all the hype, I did give Loma more rounds. I'm basically telling you what my video tomorrow is going to be, because that's all it is. Oh shit! Get hop kicked to fuckery now. Should have talked about the fight. That's it. That's it. Fuck. Oh man. Damn it. Damn it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the fight. Like I said, I would have went with a draw. I wouldn't even can't even say I would have picked Loma, quite frankly. Even though, you know, again, he landed a lot of the more cleaner punches. But Haney did good work. And it was a lot of, you know, a lot of missed punches on both ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was a lot of non-clean punches landed. Come on. Got him. People are pissed, yeah. People are screaming, robbery, Devin Haney robbed him, this is corruption in boxing. And it's just like, I didn't see that fight. I saw a fight that Loma could have got the decision, and I saw a fight that Devin could have got this decision. I saw a fight that had mostly swing rounds. I think it's because the 11th round, Loma did so well. And the 11th and 10th, and they're probably the clearest, easiest fight rounds to call, is those 2 rounds. So people are like, oh shit. Put it out. I fucked that up, but I put that out. So I think people are seeing that round, and it was a later round, and saying, oh man, he won. It was close, and he won the rounds that were the most dominant. And listen, if you give him, if they would have said Lomachenko's the new champion, I wouldn't have been mad. I again think a draw. I thought that was as close as a fight could get. Thought they should have called a draw. I don't know if they're running the angle with Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, and that's the fight they want. I have a feeling that, you know, there was a lot of rumors that Devin hadn't re-signed with Top Rank. I think those rumors are unfounded. I think he has re-signed. We just may not know about it. And it wouldn't surprise me because his new character is being an asshole to people and pushing people, and he's trying to be like a wrestling heel. He even ran for Shakur Stevenson, which I thought was like, that was funny. But I don't know. The outrage is like, come on, man. But you know what? Part of that is a good thing, because what it means is there's a lot of people who watch this fight who don't typically watch boxing. So that means some casuals are starting to show up. And I say that as a casual. I'm not saying that, and you know, some people say casual, you don't know what you're talking about because you don't watch boxing. No, I don't mean like that. I mean people who don't typically watch boxing showed up to watch this fight, and so they don't really know what they're seeing as much as someone who watches at least. Like I said, I consider myself a casual. I don't consider myself nowhere near an expert, even though I've been talking about it. And appreciate everybody who's come over. That's been yes. But since I started a new channel, the boxing has gotten all the subs. I'm at 100 subs. What casuals go online? Well, a lot of this is Twitter reaction. And, you know, I can't blame all casuals because there's been a lot of pros. And, you know, another thing I'll say, a lot of people in the building. And those, I will give you this. If you're in the building for a fight, it is totally different than at home. I cannot explain how different it is, man. It is totally different. So I will give it that. And again, I'm not saying Loma, you couldn't have gave it to Loma, because that's a good point. What casual's going on? And you know what? You're right. Not everyone who's bitching is casual. But I think a lot of it is just that once you have a perception, you know what I mean? Then now everyone has that perception. It's almost some. But again, I say that I can definitely see Loma winning that fight at the same time. It just, to me, it's just a close fight, and that's what happens in close fights. So I mean, that's the thing. It's a close fight, and I think it's unfairly thought of as a rivalry. But look, I mean, I get it. It was a good fight as well. And if you're a Loma fan, and it was hard to watch his reaction. I'm like, shit, this is a humiliation ritual, because he was crying. They tossed a Bud Light, because Bud Light sponsored the fight. So they tossed this Bud Light towel on. I'm like, oh man, that's a bad look, just visually at the time when he's crying after he lost, which I felt from the emotion of it, man. But it's just like, it could have went either way. I fell for that. I just, think it was close. That's all I'm saying. I'll go with a draw. I wouldn't even have said Haney won. I'd have said a draw. I think that'd have been. I think a lot of people would have swallowed that decision better too, because it was like, okay, I can see a draw. I think it was a draw. So that's my thoughts. It was a draw. It was a very close fight. It is not the whooping. Even though he got whooped in that 10th and 11th, especially the 11th, he got whooped on. Don't get me wrong. And I also said in my video, I'm previewing it, but I know a lot of people who are going to watch that are not watching this. I said, you know what? If boxing gave out more 10-8 rounds, that could have been a 10-8. You know what I'm saying? I know UFC has made an effort to try to give out more 10-8 rounds, and that it would have definitely qualified the 11, and that could have obviously changed the score too. But it really wouldn't have won if you would have said the 11. If you give them a 10-8 in the 11th and give them the 12th, and the 12th was close too. I gave it to Haney, but you could have gave it either way. A lot of those rounds you could go either way, man. They are probably scared to call it a draw. I grant you that. I definitely think there's something to that. I think that, you know what? I also think a rematch. I hope a rematch is coming too. I think people will buy a fucking rematch after that, and I think that's part of the thinking. I think that this might be a rematch fight. Oh shit! I should have known the grab was coming. I think that's where, if it was a fix, that's what the fix is on. Let's do a rematch. Let's get all these people who paid for this fight to give us more money, because it's boxing at the end of the day. And I don't want to keep fighting King. It is boxing. It is a corrupt sport. So that's why I can't tell you the fight wasn't rigged. It might have been. They might have filled those cards out the day before. It's boxing. I can't. I'm not gonna lie to you. Say, oh, it wasn't rigged. It might have been rigged, but it was also a close fight. It's also a close fight. Part of me thinks, just knowing boxing like I do, knowing Bob Arum like I do, man, part of me think it might have been a little screw job finish. I was thinking, oh shit, here comes Negan. I was worried about a screw job finish either way with this situation, because the rumor was Devin Haney, who won, was at the end of his contract. And so that means, okay, either he's not going to resign and then he'll get screwed, or he'll silently resign. They won't tell anybody, and then they'll screw Loma. Oh, he actually skipped his intro. What a champion, man. You're a real one, even though you're whooping on me right now, just for skipping the intro, my guy. Aggressive. Man, getting fucked up. Let's do a quick rematch. Yeah, in boxing terms, of course. A quick rematch 6 months from now. At best, unfortunately, in a boxing world. But yeah, I think a rematch with solve all this, and I think that's gonna happen. Because it's going to be too much fucking money. These guys are money marks. You know what I mean? It's going to be too much money. They'll get a rematch. That is Negan. That is Negan from The Walking Dead. Yes. He's one of the most annoying characters in this game. And obviously, he's not known for fighting skills. So why he's in a fighting game? I mean, marketing. And plus, this game has been around since like 2017. It's an old game at this point. That's why the new one's coming out. Hopefully next year. Don't rush it. Here you go. He's fucking me up. Shit. Damn it. I think that's it. Nope. Yep, I should say. Uh-oh. Damn it. I just sat there. Oh, bullshit. Damn it. Yes. All right. But yeah, it was close. Hopefully they do a rematch. If they don't do a rematch, that would suck. I ain't gonna lie. And it's like, man, if y'all think that's a robbery, fuck. Wait till y'all get a load of action. Wait till you get a load of some of these like little small shows where they'll just rob a motherfucker for no reason. Or even just the undercards of some of these shows. Wouldn't surprise me if one of the prelim shows that I didn't even, prelim matches you didn't even see had a bigger robbery than the main event. Watching season 2 of Clarkson's Farm. Never thought, another recommendation for Clarkson's Farm. Never thought I would enjoy a show about farming that much. I've seen clips of it. And I was such a huge fan, like everybody, of the original Top Gear, but the 2000s Top Gear. Damn, he's spamming that bitch. That's it. Damn it. I'm not fighting this guy again. He skipped the intro, but he didn't skip the outro. Yeah. Another recommendation, so I might check that out. There's a lot of stuff I need to check out. A lot of stuff I need to do. Still haven't really started on reworking the studio. But I do have everything I need. At least I hope so. I think I might need another power conditioner, but oh well. I'm fucking up. Yeah, shout out to, it says 3 people in the chat, so thank you. The other 2 guys outside Central Dildo. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. What else is going on? Guess the NBA finals are pretty much set. There's a few games left, or a couple games left, essentially. But I guess it's going to be Denver and Miami. That's what it looks like. So, shout out to those 2 teams. Speaking of rigging, a lot of people talked about how that sport's rigged. There's definitely some truth to that. But I haven't really been paying attention to the playoffs like I usually do. Just that's why I do have a few basketball videos that didn't do as well as the boxing, which is weird because you think boxing is a niche sport, and everyone talks about how it's dying, and I've talked about how it's the perception of it is bad, at least in America. But believe it or not, the boxing shit has been. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe that Ryan Tank fight just tickled the algorithm in the right way. One episode in particular. Yeah, I've heard that it exposes how fucked up the state is how they be fucking with these farmers. He said one episode in particular pissed me off so much. State needs to burn for real, bro. The evil shit they do with the food supply and the farmers. With how, I don't remember the details, but I know this crazy shit here about the farmers, and now all the farmland is owned by Billy Boy, so you can only imagine what's gonna happen with that.
Get ready for the next battle.
Alrighty. Cowboy Law.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh shit. Damn it. Okay, got him. Fucking bureaucrats, yeah. Bro, the state, people don't realize how evil the state is, man. Especially the bureaucracy, because they're the ones who stay there year after year. They don't get elected. And I mean, that's where most of the power structure comes from. In general, you know. Doesn't matter if I'm talking about the government here or the government over in the UK. Where Clark, is that where Clarkson's doing everything out of the UK, or was it here? Or is it somewhere else? God, yeah, it was close.
Round 3.
I've seen like clips and I can't remember the accent. Damn it. UK, okay. Damn it, I'm getting fucked up. I lost this one. Damn it. That's close.
Round 4. Fight.
Damn it. Damn it. Oh, damn. Got this round.
Final round.
Okay, let's try this. Damn it. That's over. It's over. I was too defensive and he got me. I'll do a rematch. Fuck. But yeah, I gotta check out Clarkson Farm. That just sounds fucked up, man. The government's a fucked up place. They do all sorts of regulations. The regulations are not for fairness. Oh, he doesn't want the rematch. The regulations are not for fairness. The regulations are not for the people. It's for to stress the people and stretch the people out to the most extent. And he got an award from a UK farmer organization. They're happy someone with a big audience is speaking for them. Well, good, that's dope. So I gotta check this out. What is it on? Well, I guess you probably don't. You probably selling the high season. Tell them I can sell the high season and get it. I'll just figure it out. I'll check it out. Shit, maybe do a review. How many seasons of it? Is it like 2 or 3 seasons? Watch on F movie. Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, you don't know what it's on. And I'm like, you know what? I technically don't need to know because I can figure it out too. I got my own little sources, right? Oh, another king. So I can figure it out. Shout out to the interwebs, man. It's making a lot of stuff possible. It's the only reason I saw that fight. I wasn't about to pay for that, man. I can't pay these prices, bro. If we had the UK prices, that's a cool hat. Little hat face. I didn't know they had that. If we had the UK prices, they'll pay like $30. It's like, okay, I can pay $30. I'll be wanting 50, 60, 80. Y'all want too much money out of me, man. It's like, come on, my guy. Damn it, that's it. 2 8-episode seasons, working on a third. Okay. That was nice. Oh, I don't take you to. Oh, come on. Thought I had that broken. Gotcha, bitch. F movies is great. No need to download shit. Just stream it. Shout to the you know. We're still trying to stay afloat legally here after the last channel. So, but shout out to Tortuga. I guess is that the friendly name to say? Hell, Joe. Old Tekken, yeah. No! I thought he was about to do all his grabs. I don't know if I broke it or he just fucked him up. Oh, I thought I caught him. Damn it. Damn it. Nice. Got him. Golly. Motherfucker was annoying. I'll do that again, though. He'll do it. But he won't. He will not do it. What's going on in your world, Joe? How you doing? Appreciate you showing up. We're just talking about different sources of getting entertainment, I guess. Because Sister Dildo brought up Clarkson Farm. He's like the second or third person to bring it up. I know Red Shirt was talking about it. Yes. I need to do 100 sub streams since I got back to 100. No? Okay. I'm not sure if I'm following you. You had me in one direction and you switched. Gotta do 100 sub. I'm probably not gonna do the typical one. I'm gonna just do my own solo. Cause honestly, I don't want to bring up like this 100 subs means more than the 100 sub I got initially on the first channel, because I got that from aping off of other people's work, and this has been off. You know, granted, obviously a lot of people came from that other channel, a lot of people follow me here, but the only people who follow me are the people who cared, the people who like the content. And then I think I've gotten more subs organically since then. I might be wrong, maybe close the other way. That's fine. Good. Took a break from streaming. Went to a friend's place with Foxy. Dope. But so yeah, got 100. Yep, I'm at 101. I think got 101 subs. A lot of the boxing content I've been doing has been like gangbusters, man. Crazy amount of content or crazy amount of subs and views. Oh shit, this is gonna be annoying. I fucking hate this guy. There you go. Touching grass is great, yeah, man. And yeah, man. It's like I couldn't make that same content. I wouldn't even know how. I wouldn't even know where to start. I seriously couldn't. It's just like you know. Hey, I got a little congrats from Joe. Thank you, man. I can't complain about Marvel and Disney anymore. Or whatever, any of these channels. I just can't, or any of these companies. I mean, I'm still complaining, right? Complaining about boxing, complaining about sports, complaining about the government. I'm still complaining. I'm still doing shit. But I mean, for a sport that's supposedly dead in this country, man, boxing is doing me a load of good. Oh, that was a nice time to grab. That's it. Oh, no, you fucked up. Oh, you still got me. Been doing me a load of good. Hopefully, people stick around because, the plan is to talk about a bunch of different subjects. You know what I mean? And we'll see how the music stuff does. I got a plan with that I want to do. A little project I want to do in the summer. So we'll see how that goes. I'm getting fucked up. Damn it. Don't give a fuck about men in spandex no more, right? That's nothing. Superhero, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody tells you. You know what I mean? People, sheesh. That's why I don't like this guy. That's perfect. Yep. Look, you can have this, man. Hey, Huang. Don't let anybody tell you different. There is a fucking fatigue, man. And apparently people like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's funny, even a lot of motherfuckers who kept making fun of the damn and you should have made fun of that dumb post. I ain't gonna be too harsh on them. But I mean, they end up liking it. So it's like, okay, you guys, whatever. But I mean, it was kind of a goofy poster, I ain't gonna lie, where it looks like they edited out her chest. But then you look goofy for noticing it. You know what I mean? You're the only motherfuckers that noticed it. So you just fall into one of their traps again. I know that's what you guys love doing. But whatever. In any event, there's a fatigue. You're not going to convince me there's no fatigue. It's just not. Yeah, if something's good, but I never fucked with the Guardians, So, I mean, if you're a Guardians guy, the perception is it was a good end of the trilogy. So you might want to check it out. That's what the perception is, at least from what I've seen. But I'm not a Guardians guy, so I couldn't tell you. I don't see myself. You know what? Even the Flash, like even though it's been a minute since I've gone to a theater, and I kind of been wanting to go to see a movie, maybe even Super Mario or something. And the Flash comes out in a few weeks. I don't know if I really want to see it, man. I don't have this strong desire to see it, but it's a movie. But it's like, oh, damn it, I gotta do a mirror match. But it's like fucking like 80 Batman. Check out what a Guardians with a good copy drops. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. And listen, if people like that, that's fine. I know a lot of people do. And I'm a Batman fan still. Oh sheesh, that fucked me up. Doing the same thing. Damn it, here we go. Damn it. Hate mirror matches. It's over. Damn it. Brother is a Guardians guy. I'd like to wrap up. Volume. Okay. That's it. Oh, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's not scrubbed like me. It's over. Oh. Got him.
Round 3. Fight.
What the fuck was that? Harada. Oh, sheesh. Hey, Fizz. Appreciate you staying up late with us. Oh, man. I can't believe I fell for that bitch. I just got blasted out. Hate mirror matches. It's over. Damn it. Yeah, Session Ditto asked about Clarkson's farm. Oh no, Joe's going back to Madden. He's leaving us. All right, peace out, Joe. Got a salute for Joe. Shout out to Joe's Atmosphere. Sub to his channel. He has more subs than me. I think Fizz might have more subs than me too. I don't know. But I made it to $1, so I'm happy about that. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Looking at the clock, I'm like, huh? Are we almost time for a game switch? Man, that's the. I mean, listen, I ain't playing Madden. I think it's terrible. I mean, just looking at how much stuff they haven't changed, but I mean, people still fuck with it because it's the only thing that offers what it offers. It's still. Fizz says no, I don't. Oh, you don't have more subs? I'm not sure how many subs you got, man. Well, yeah, I do. There you go. Yeah, because my old channel had a lot of subs, but I mean, you know, I can't really. I can use it, but it's not gonna go anywhere. Here we go. Sheesh, now I'm getting worked. Yeah, just that. Oh man. Got him. Probably like FIFA, people still, yeah, that's the thing. People still play and bitch about it. Hey, Kai, appreciate you being here. Oh, I'm getting fucked up. Shit, here we go. That's the spot. Oh, is that it? Yep. Yep. But yeah, FIFA and Madden are you know, the same two EA games. They release the same game each year. People complain about it each year. People buy it each year. People buy the MUT teams and the FUT teams, and they're fucked teams. And people pay not just the fucking list price, the $70. They'll pay a couple extra $100 for their fucking teams. They'll do it every year, and they'll complain. And they'll bitch and they'll moan and they'll say, "Oh, you know, we had more modes in the old game," but it doesn't matter because they won't stop buying it and they won't stop creating this mess. They are the problem. They are their own worst enemies, and they refuse to. You know, they can't deal. They can't deal without it. Damn it! And that's You know, to me, I think that's mirrored in a lot of these fandoms. You know what I mean? Star Wars, they're not going to accept that it's over. They're just going to keep pumping money into it and complaining about it. And it's like, okay, well, that's you. I can't do that. Nice sidestep. Same thing with 2K. Yep, all those sports games. Say 2K. No, that's the same. That's still going. Live isn't, NBA Live isn't, but 2K is still going. And the same thing. People will buy their little 2K teams, buy the little legend packs, spend a couple $100 on it each year, and complain about it. Same. All three of those games are the same thing. That's why I say, I've made the connection between Star Wars and Madden fans. A lot of things. I'll say Madden fans. When you complain about the shit, you hate the shit, you talk how much, this is garbage, but you fucking keep paying for it. And you keep funding something that you don't like and that you don't even think likes you. You keep funding it. Star Wars is the same thing. Well, Andor wasn't that bad, which I hear is not that bad. But I heard it wasn't, nothing to ride home about. But Star Wars fans are fucking starved. And they're still going to fund. They're still going to buy. And I can't say too much shit because I'm a Batman fan. I just bought a shit ton of action figures. So, no, maybe I'm not watching their new content. But if I'm still giving them money, you know what I'm saying? Who cares? So it's like, are you really mad? Or you just want a bitch? Like, cause if you were really mad, you would stop paying. Damn it. Damn it. That's it. Damn it. Yeah, there's a lot of fan bases like that. And that's Blizzard, Blizzard, Activision, another company that can. Oh shit! I know a lot of people have been mad about this Overwatch thing. It's another kind of thing out there. Overwatch 2 is basically just Overwatch 1 with, it's a season pass, and they didn't create a campaign or PvE mode for it. Gotcha, bitch. Can't watch basketball. Shit's boring as fuck. You did see Real Madrid won the Euro League. Okay. That's cool. Man, NBA has just really fallen off. And they say it. You know what? There's not the same effort. The players are saying it, man. It's not me. The fucking players. A couple weeks ago, what's the dude name? Patrick Beverly said it. And then just the other day, fucking Paul George said it. Paul George, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, LeBron has said, man, my son could come in and right now play with most of this league. And I thought that was bullshit. A lot of people else thought that was bullshit. Paul George said, listen, a lot of these motherfuckers are not putting in effort. So just off the strength of him putting in effort, he probably could compete with 50% of the league. I'm like, wow. So this is the second guy to say that guys are just collecting checks. I say no. So, I mean, that's a huge problem. Sports wide is there's just a lot of guys who are just fucking collecting checks, man. They don't give a shit. They don't care anymore. If ever they care, and they train just enough that they don't lose their spot completely, and some don't even do that, but they don't find out until it's too late. But they train just enough to still be competent, and they don't give a fuck. Yeah, so that's a sport-wide problem because of how much money these motherfuckers are making. I mean, shit. If you're the 12th man on the bench, you're going to be generationally wealthy. You probably still make 50, 60 million over the course of 10 years if you can stay in the league. If you're a mid player, you're going to probably make 100 million if you can stay in the league. It's just, you know what I mean? I think I played this guy again already. So I may switch games after this. It's a lot of fucking money. since I still haven't changed out the preamp, which we will do soon. Yeah, I did play this guy. Don't want to play him again. He's annoying. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, nice.
Round 2. Fight.
Got him.
Round 3.
That was fucking quick. Oh, shit. That was nice. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Got him. That was close. Oh, fuck. That's bullshit. All right, whatever. Does it go through the thing? It doesn't. Golly, that was close. It's close. I'll do a rematch. If he'll take it. Not, I'll do one more than game switch. I know I said I'll make game switch after this. Do one more. But yeah, sports just isn't the same. I mean, it's probably been big since before we were born, right? But that effort, you can't teach people to care, man. I was saying the same thing about a lot of music. You know, when I listen, and maybe that's something to do in between. Even though I'll probably get copyright claim between games. Go to that one channel I talked about. There's all these shorts that are just acapellas of great songs. And you can just hear like, oh man, they were singing their ass off back in the day, man. And I know they're still good singers and shit, but like they were just into it, man. I think the money, the social media shit, it's a huge thing in fucking things up. I think relegation. So I wish American sports had it. I've been following the relegation battles across Europe, bro. It's so much fun. Clubs fighting not to go under and lose all that money and players. Tis great. So I think that keeps shit going, man. I think that's one of the smartest ideas for sports. They could do it in these leagues because all you have to do is split the league in half. You split the NBA in half, have a top half and bottom half, A league, B league, and then you can have a G league. That's just the G league, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta fucking earn your fucking keep. And then, I mean, the fucking draft lottery is fucking rigged. Everybody knew fucking San Antonio was gonna get the top pick, and they did. It's like, okay. And then the Pistons didn't even get top 3 pick despite having the worst record. That sucks. Whatever. So I wish American sports had relegation where you were penalized more for losing and there was like more stakes. It's just not that, after everybody makes their cash, that's, no one cares. But let's say you had a salary, but if you get relegated because it's a lower league, your salary goes to X. These motherfuckers gonna be playing their ass off. You know what I'm saying? If there was like everybody's contract had a relegation salary, so if you go down, you go to a certain scale because you're in a different league, and therefore the pay doesn't scale quite the same. Poof, you would never have an issue with effort again in sports. Never. Because motherfuckers, they not gonna fuck up all that money just to be lazy. But nowadays, man, I'm telling you, a lot of these motherfuckers just care about bitches off Instagram, man. I'm just keeping it real with you. A lot of them care more about no draft. You want to go out to play the smaller club. You're pilfering what they want, yeah. I do think the reason they don't do it, but these teams, I used to say, well, they used to not have it that way because a lot of team owners weren't as rich, but nowadays these motherfuckers are billionaires. You know what I'm saying? You don't really need a salary cap. The idea was, well, a small market team, a team in the 70s playing in Detroit, playing in Green Bay, playing in Milwaukee or some shit. Okay, you couldn't compete with a New York team. Couldn't compete with the Yankees. Couldn't compete with a LA team or a big market team. But everybody's a fucking big. That's not that's an antiquated theory, the salary cap. Everybody's got money. These motherfuckers are super rich. These are super rich motherfuckers. So they can do that. But, these things are not about what's best for the sport. These are how can they make the most money out of the sport they have? How can they get the owners the most money? And that would be a temporary loss. Long term, they would still make money. Long term, they would still make money because they're going to have more stakes and more people to tune in. I mean, it's not. They don't put effort until the to the playoffs. And another issue on top of that is they're not even practicing. They're not even practicing. That's why they have no fucking chemistry. Most of these teams have no fucking chemistry. They just it's street ball. It's YMCA ball just with better players. It's like, well, some teams have. Ironically enough, the teams that are actually probably going to go in the finals are probably two of the more well balanced, well coached teams. And so it's funny to see that it is. So your club survives. That is a thing that happened in baseball for years, and your club survives by developing players and selling them to Euro clubs. It is what it is, small or bigger clubs. I think that's another thing that they'll say, oh, this is why we have it that way to prevent that. But it still happens. It still happens. Shit, the Pistons was a developmental for the whole league for years. Now, but the thing is, they don't get as much. Like, I don't think the Pistons got paid like that. But back in the day, that was how baseball was. A lot of, like, the Kansas City was just a development for the Yankees. And they would sell the contracts to the Yankees, and that's how they made money. But I think another reason you could also do relegation in modern sports, you could do expansion now. Because you can field a smaller league. So you can have teams in smaller cities. And I said I would end it after that. I'm actually going to go ahead and live what I rap about and switch games. But you could probably make more money with that. Now you can go to some of these for your C league, your D league, whatever. You can fucking go to these smaller cities. That's why it works. Those smaller cities, and now you have people invested in cities and markets that you wouldn't have went in with a major team, but you can go in with a smaller team. There is no perfect system. Fair enough. Human beings aren't perfect, but you can't just have. You got to do something about the lack of effort You gotta do something about well, I'm paid, so I don't have to try anymore. Just something has to be done. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to cheapen your league, and less people are going to watch. There's too many things. You're competing with me. Yeah. You're competing with the internet. You're competing with Twitch. You're competing with so much nowadays. You can't afford to just be bougie and say, oh, yeah, people are just I mean, but shit, well, we just talking about the Madden fans, right? You got those hardcores that are going to watch regardless. But not everyone's hardcore. So, you know, let's just get into FF7. I'm thinking about playing the songs and the music. But I'm like, I don't feel like doing copyright. I'm you know, now that this channel's actually growing a little bit, I am starting to get a little, not corporate, but just a little sensitive about getting myself in trouble. Even though a lot of the copyright stuff I'll see, like it'll show copyright for me, but there'll still be oh shit. It'll show copyright but allowable on YouTube. Yeah, relegation. That's why it's good. You cannot be awarded for being garbage. Nowadays, teams and players. Oh shit, I gotta do this over. That's bullshit. I got further than this. I should have saved. But it's on me. Is this game too loud? Let me know how everything sounds. It feels like it might be too loud.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
All right. Gotta go find Wedge. Come on.
Just a bit too loud? I thought so. Hold on. Thought it was a bit too loud. Okay. Turn down for you and turn down for me. Okay. Probably overdid it, but here we go. Okay. Just a bit too loud. Actually, let me go through each thing.
I'm afraid to ask, but did you just shoot your way in here?
Well, yeah. Work, didn't it? Firing one off! You ain't getting out of this one. Bring it home!
Let me handle this.
So now what's going on in this world? What is there to talk about? Isn't that Fed now shit supposed to start pretty soon? Does anyone know anything about that? It's the CDBC thing that the government's doing to slave the people. I think it starts pretty soon. Only God knows how that's gonna really work. You know what I mean?
Kill for a shower.
Here, you musty bitch. So that's gonna change everything, man. Cause they're gonna start putting people at 0 for like dumbass reasons, and they're gonna really start fucking up a lot. That's gonna be very traumatic, man. And it's like people know it's gonna happen, but there's no like stopping it. There's nothing. It's just we just gotta accept this, take this L. They're working on it in the UK too. It's like, I guess just humanity just has to take this L, and there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing. And it's like, what the fuck? There's got to be something, right? There's got to be a way of stopping this shit, right? Right? Maybe it's not, man. Wait, there's shit down there. How do I get to that? There we go. The ether, the shit to make your soul burn slow. Only one way, people are too sedated. I think people are just too scared. I mean, Beyonce, because the people that know, they'll talk shit, but they're not built to do that shit. I think, and that's part of why I thought that day in January a couple years ago was a word. It was to scare the people off of actually doing it for real, for real. They shamed everybody. There's all these committees and all this one shit. The one chick got killed. All this other shit. All to make sure and to fortify the security in case you want to do it, and make sure you're not gonna really do that. And that's why everyone wants to vote their way out of it. That's why they keep saying, well, if you stop voting Democrat, like that matters. That's why they want to vote their way out of it, because they can't fathom it. They can't fathom, no, we are in that situation. If we don't get the guillotine out, was a honeypot. It absolutely was, man. It absolutely was a honeypot. They sold it as this big thing and told everybody it was going to be this big thing and got everybody. That's a brilliant way of putting it. It was a fucking honeypot. It was like, oh man, let's storm the castle. That's that's probably not the smart thing to do. And so yeah, it was definitely a honeypot, and it worked.
For you. Ha, too late.
That can work.
Gotta be slow. There.
All right, watch and learn.
Yeah, and it's people aren't built like that. I mean, and again, I'm not trying to say it like I'm not built like that. But unfortunately, it's gonna get brutal, man. Oh shit. Once it was pointless because they were going after the wrong institution, politicians, or public. That's another thing. You want to really do something, do that to. Alright, shit. I would say to build a bird, but does that matter still? You know what I'm saying? They didn't commercialize that. I don't think that would matter. That's that's another part of it too. I think people refuse to accept politicians and puppets. I can tell people that till the fucking cows come home. They're not going to accept it because in their heads, they were sold the American dream, bro. And they don't know that's a work. And they don't want to find out. And they don't want to accept it. And in some ways, I understand. In many ways, I understand. And so, hopefully, if we could just vote the liberals out, if we could just vote those mean old liberals out, America will fly, the flags will fly, and the flag's still there, land of the free, home of the brave. If we could just get rid of those mean old liberals. That's all we have to do. We're living in the goddamn republic, damn. Yeah, we're living in a republic, goddamn. Yeah, because if I say it's a democracy, it was a republic, goddamn it. Okay, whatever. It's neither. It's an oligarchy, but fine, whatever. It's a corporate. It's a corporate oligarchy. That's what we live in. That's what the world lives in. That's the actual form of government. And they dip into socialist and communist practices when needed. They'll feign capitalism when needed, but it is a corporate oligarchy. That is what it is. It's just what it is.
I'm up for anything. Here it comes. Yeah. Bringing the heat. Catch you sleeping. I'm gonna blow your ass straight to hell.
Jeez, he's still alive.
Want some more? This is gonna sting.
Finally.
Ain't got nothing on me.
Let's see. Low spec lens laptop. Yeah, it's a corporate state. This is a corporate state. The banks run the state. And that goes for the world, wherever you are. You know, they can call it whatever the form of government, whatever. The banks run the state. Neo-feudalism is on its fucking way. Only God knows what that looks like. And again, how do you stop it? They're crashing the money system
You think Wedge is holding
as
on?
we speak.
Of course he is.
And they've been doing it for
People think. Probably sleeping soundly, dreaming
they've been doing it for years. They spent the past 3 years with the most
His choice.
insane transfer of wealth in human history. It was greatly understated when you really think about how crazy it was. So it's like, and people are still wearing masks. You know what I'm saying? So what do you do? Slim durability. That's an awkward thing to say, firing one off. So yeah, I really wish, sincerely, I had the answers to get us out of this, man. I really wish. You know, a lot of people will tell you they do. Again, if you could just get rid of those evil liberals that hate us, if you could just get rid of them, the republic will stand. But that's just not the case, man. It's deeper than some blue-haired liberals. It's deeper than Joe Biden. It's deeper than Let's Go Brandon. It is a evil organization that has been basically unchecked in any meaningful way the past, I don't know how many years. Hundreds. So like, oh shit, that was quick.
Oh, we're done here.
So they have so much power. They have so much technology. I mean, I hate to just oversell it like there's nothing we could do, but I just don't know what to. And I'll admit I don't know what to do. I really do. I wish I had all the answers, man. I don't have the answers, Sway. I don't have the answers, man. Can I do this? It's not sound like the main theme. Final Fantasy VII. Let's see what we got for weapons. Oh, there it is. So that's the main thing. So I can't afford anything. But see, look how shitty this armor is. It lifts some people up, but this armor is shitty. Let's go with that. They got spooked by the Occupy movement. That's why they subverted with identity politics. You think the numbers of articles about whiteness and white privilege skyrocketed that time was a coincidence? Hell no, nope. The number of articles, the number of content, you know, that was clearly a coordinated effort. Because they had to get division. That's why some of these incidents were been coordinated. And they'll give you a little fraudulent ass incident and tell you, oh man, this was, this is a real incident. This is racism, right? And then they don't report the shit that really will happen. And that's a good way of dividing people. You come up with a group, call them Black Lives Matter, and that's a great. They were excellent in their division of America and really the Western world. And they got it down to a science. Where we had, I forgot the guy's name, the Australian guy talking about how, what was that? Black single mothers have ruined America. I'm thinking like, as many crazy white women push this wokeness. They were the fucking backs of wokeness, and you're gonna say that, but whatever, bro. But that's what he was taught to think because of BLM and all this other dumb shit. So that's how he thinks everything is. They create division. Think about critical race theory. Think about that for a second. On the same internet, on the same platforms, you can read a critical race theory paper that I covered on the original channel. It wasn't a paper, a little infographic, talking about how hard work is whiteness. It's clearly basically white supremacist propaganda, right? And then sell to another group of people that critical race theory is just racial history, and that anybody who's against it is just trying to hide the past of America. And they can sell that to two different groups on the same fucking internet. They can sell that hard work is whiteness, and the only people who look at it are not going to be the same people who hear that critical race theory is some sort of, racial history thing. That's what they really believe. But you can put it on the same internet, and you got the people so polarized, nobody will check the other side to see exactly what the other side is saying. That's how they got us down to a science, man. And then when I say anything that's nuanced or that's not, in one direction, you think they messed up accidentally with defund the police? It absolutely was divisive. And then they came up with Back to Blue, then Blue Line, and all this other shit. Which is, they literally wanted you to back the government, back the same state that's gonna take away all your rights, and tell you that was right. None of this shit was on purpose, or none of this shit was accidental. And as I'll say, one thing I can prove with some of these incidents, Trayvon Martin's father is still a Freemason. That's not an opinion. They call it teaching honest history. And if you're a hardworking parent, don't pay no attention to it, which that's who that you don't know. You don't know that your son has been told that he ain't shit because he's black and he ain't shit because he's white. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. And I think that's another thing. These fucking schools have destroyed, there's so much destroying these kids' self-esteem. Men, women, black, white, whatever. They just been destroying these kids. They've been attacking these kids, berating these kids with all this other shit. And then they making everything political.
You good?
But man, this is bullshit, and people don't know they're getting played against each other. I can't tell them. They don't want to know, man. They don't want to know. They don't want to know, like, yo, this is a big work. And that's where, I'm still going to talk my shit about it when I can. I'm still going to, when I see a thing, like I made a video about the John Moran thing. It's like, yeah, I think he did the shit. Not just it wasn't just a kid making a mistake. This is a nice little polarizing incident. Nice something to distract us, to look at something else. I was just watching, I think it was Black Balloon. Shout out to Black Balloon. He was talking about, it's funny how Leah passed a few weeks before that day in September, and then Kobe passed a few weeks before that disease that shut down everything a few months. Like, yeah, that is curious. It's very curious that happened and shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's incredibly like, what? It's a bit odd. But I mean, again, man, they can come up with the same concept, name it the same thing, put it on the same platform, but depending on your race or your politics, you're only going to see it from one perspective, and they'll never communicate. You're only going to argue it from one perspective, and the parties never have to communicate, and they'll never know. Oh, this is now this is why I hate this game. This little door is stopping me from going upstairs. That's bullshit. I blasted through all those doors to get here, but because the story says no, this door stops me. I hate this shit in video games, man. SEL is sneaky because a parent wouldn't notice. It's wrong just looking at the textbook. The trick is to program kids by deconstructing existing text verbally using CRT. What's SEL? I don't know if I've heard of that. Or maybe I've heard of it under a different name. Hell, Zach's social emotional learning. So I never heard of that shit. That's some new shit for the streets for me. Cause I kind of got out of it. Maybe I should stay somewhat clued in, man. Oh, now he's trying to get through this fucking door. Oh, she hopped over. I gotta look into that social emotional learning. That's another thing. People are so like, they have no clue what the fucking education system is. To me, shit, even when I was young, I always thought of the education system as basically a social hazing project, man. It's like everybody sends their kids to high school because they went through it. No one checks how shitty these high schools are and how bad these high schools are actually preparing the kids for the world. No one checks about how these high schools have really screwed up my generation, bro. Oh, fuck. Let's get out of here. They made sure my generation would be completely unskilled for the workplace that we actually would face. Seriously. Shit. I have fire. I bet you I don't. There's another thunder this way out. He's immune. Isn't that great? Here's a short video about it. Okay, we'll check it out. I don't know if it will switch games or oh shit, that's not good. We'll check it out in between games or at the end of this, whatever we decide. Shit. Golly. Sheesh. Rabbit hole goes deep. See, I hadn't heard about that. I mean, I could only imagine. But you know what? We totally, the amount of trust this education system, the amount of unearned trust this education system has had for years. You know what I'm saying? They just accepted it. They just accepted that it was even doing anything. They accepted it at its base, that it's supposed to help people, and they people were beating their kids because they didn't get good grades in an education system that was literally trying to make sure they didn't get good grades. Education system that was trying to tell boys in particular that they're the fucking defective. You know what I'm saying? And it lowered the self-esteem of a generation of men to the point where men can't stand for shit, and the best you can get out of men is a bunch of motherfuckers with cigars and TRT complaining about bitches that don't want them. Like, that's the best you can get out of men. So like, and they created that class of men, but with these, you know, goofy ass hoe ass teachers that I had to deal with, and we all had to deal with, and they didn't say anything. Then when we all grew up, because we don't want to deal with our kids, because we rather, you know, go on Twitter and go on fucking Facebook and try to look for ass and complain about our jobs and shit. We just send our kids off there because we don't feel like dealing with them. Let the education system raise all the kids of the fucking West, and don't complain or ask any fucking questions about it. And that's exactly what they've done, and that's it. Public school was about indoctrination since its inception. Absolutely, it was. And you can't convince somebody despite the fact public education is what, like a couple 100 years old max, you can't convince anybody, I don't want to homeschool my kids, they won't learn socialization. Bitch, they not learning socialization at these schools. You know what I'm saying? They learning how to take Xanny bars and get STDs at these schools. They're not learning no socialization. They learning how to be on drugs at these schools, and they're given reason they should be on drugs. Shit.
Can you fight? Mind taking over?
About damn time. This one right here is for the flag.
Sheesh. So yeah, the public, that's, you know, this is why things ain't gonna change, man. There's a million reasons why. Was the whole point of feminism get women to work, pay taxes, and lead their kids to the state? Yeah, that was one of the many points of feminism. And of course, destroy the family structure. Can't forget that. Can't forget good old. I mean, we don't even look at in this culture, we don't even look at fathers as the party that should raise the kid. We just ignore that, the concept of fathers raising their own kids. Everybody else is supposed to raise the kid, supposed to give it to the mother. And one thing I will give the manosphere, one positive, is they started to put the light on some of these destructive mothers. I know, listen, my mom was great, you know what I mean? Everything wasn't perfect. Ooh, shit, that sucks. But compared to a lot of people's lives, you know, I'll take my mom and my family, because I've seen way worse. I've seen the Eminem off 8 Mile Mom. You know what I mean? I know some people who have real abusive moms, and that's something that's not talked about. The abuse that men face in relationships is something else don't talk about. And feminism has empowered all this shit to further, on top of what we were talking about with the taxes and leaving their kids to the state. But it's empowered just that division that's lowering the population now, because people don't want to marry and settle down and have kids in this climate. So that's where we are. So I mean, a lot of their plans have worked expertly, to be 1,000%, man. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Good to go? We need to find a way to stop it.
What is causing that lightning? Oh shit, our depressing asses drove everyone away. We might have. Should have been talking about titties. That's our fault. We should have been talking about titties. If we were talking about titties, we'd be doing a lot better numbers wise. Titties are wonderful, man.
On the offensive.
But you're not even allowed to say that, man.
Gotta be smart.
Not to go
No need to panic.
fandom again. You know, fandom menace MAGA. You know, it's kind of a joke, only slightly. But y'all you see the what was it? The Miller Lite? Is it Miller Lite, Coors Light? One of these bullshit ass beers had the, you know, they had all these bikini ads from the past and talked about how offensive they were and shit. How antiquated it was that men were attracted to women. Basically, how antiquated. How these pigs. So that's an ad. That's another little thing. I love titties. I like cake more though. I'm personally a cake guy. You know what though? I've noticed white guys a little more preferences to titties. I'm not sure if that's changing, but just historically speaking, I noticed that. I'm not sure why that is. You know, that's a culture thing. But then brothers and Latin brothers, you know, usually more cake. So it is what it is. Apparently Balkan brothers too. I don't know. Don't know if it's a cultural thing, but I'm a fan of titties. Titties are rated. Titties are rated. Saw that the girl boss. She's on a forced paid leave. That's great. But I mean, you know, the part of the reason people assess, like, you know, will scream conspiracy theories about shit like that, it's because you gotta. What other reason would you make an ad that stupid? I know a lot of people go by the, well, and there's, you know, I can't say there's nothing to this. The idea that okay, this is what they're teaching in the colleges. A lot of these people are just listening to college people that graduated who get into their marketing teams, etc., and they're not really vetting the quality of their ideas. And yeah, I'm sure that's happening on some level, but a lot of this is malicious. A lot of this is, you know, they're trying to cause issues, they're trying to cause controversy. Trying to add to the divisiveness, and they're always testing to see how far they are along, right? They live in bubbles where they think, like, yeah, there is something to that. There are those ESG bubbles and cultural, you know, leftist psychopath bubbles. There's something to that. I don't want to say there's nothing to that. There's also, you know, there's some maliciousness too. There's some, let's push the culture in a certain direction. Think about this. because of all the trans stuff, look how more acceptable gay seems. Right? There was a point where gay marriage was like never happened, right? But now no one could give a fuck. And obviously it's legal in a lot of areas. And I'm not saying I can or should give a fuck or whatever. You know, I lean libertarian. But if we just talk about how that culturally has been pushed, no one will care about quote unquote gay rights anymore because of how crazy this trans stuff has been. They've pushed it so far in one direction that you'll accept, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, gotta try to survive. ESG is the malicious part, yeah, man. Because that means they can be funded for all this shit. They're literally being rewarded for essentially cultural division. Thunder's not gonna work. I don't know what to do. How do I might look at the internet to stop this damn thing. I feel like I'm just fighting endlessly.
I've got you covered.
Damn it! Fuck. I'm probably about to get killed. So now I'm just trying to figure out how the fuck I survive. I don't know how to kill this thing. Yeah, all of it wouldn't mean anything without the funding. For all the money, you know, the people, malicious people. Yeah, that's the because the funding means that, you know, a lot of people who have just wanted like it to go away, like, oh, if we don't pay them, which I don't want to say there's nothing to it because they're only going to fund so much, right? But a lot of people are under the impression, oh, if we just stop giving them money, they'll go away because they'll run out of money. And that ESG is why it's a lot harder for them to run out of money. It's not impossible. I don't want to say it's impossible. I don't want to say it won't happen, but it just makes it harder. Damn it. Shit, about to die. Oh, that shit was there. For some reason I thought another comment popped up. But yeah. Jeez, how the fuck do I stop this fucking thing? He keeps healing with that shit. Yeah, maybe it's just go for his appendages. Am I stuck? Oh, fuck this game. I can't even fucking move. Oh, I'm dead. That's bullshit. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Your boxing videos are rolling. Yes, they are. I've become a boxing channel overnight, man. My boxing stuff is done really good. 2 videos over 2,000. which I don't think I've had. And another one that might go over. See, I was talking about that earlier, and I must have left my phone out there. So I'll just retry and give somebody fire. Hope that works. You know what? I'm about to check online real quick. How to beat failed experiment. I don't know how to do it. But yeah, man, the boxing stuff, for a sport that is like everyone says is dead, and I've said it's dead, and it is dying, and it's not where it was. It's done me well, man. It's done me really well, and I'm shocked at it. Ice, okay. See, so I need ice. Okay, so ice is what I need. All right, well, I'm glad I checked that out. Let me ask you. Oops, let me go back to you so I can see you guys' comments. Alrighty. Poison is useless. Okay. Not enough coverage in some big fights. Maybe that's what it is. It's a untapped market. Because the only people who are fucking with it are the hardcores. Plus, I consider myself to be a casual. Shit, I just went right into it. Ejection stream is tonight? Question mark. There have been a couple. The Ryan Garcia Tank fight was huge. Then there was that crazy fight the other week with the bad finish, and then this Lomachenko fight. So that's definitely helped. I'm gonna still, vary the topics. I'm not just gonna become. I joke. I'm not just gonna do boxing. I'm still talking about everything. Apparently, it is. Sure is, dildo. I mean, shit. Your channel is obviously doing pretty well, man. So. Congrats on that. And yeah, just recently made it to 100 subs on this channel, which, like I said, actually kind of feels a lot more earned than doing the stream and beg thing that I did to get the subs on the old channel. So I'm happy about that. Yeah, we're just gonna keep talking about what we want and hoping for the best. It does work pretty good. Nice. Yeah, we're talking about Clarkson's Farm. I keep hearing stuff about it. So yeah, if you've seen Clarkson's Farm, let us know, Zach. You still watch this entertainment shit.
Of course there's more.
You good?
Like you even got a head.
I got this. Yeah. It's on you.
Guess it's my turn.
couple episodes make you recommend it. The sentence is trash, but you get the gist. Well, this is not English lit class, so you'll be okay. Can I jump over this now? Nope. Gotta go through the whole little song and dance. Currently watching season 2. Enjoying it. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. That's bullshit. Holy.
Feeling a bit chilly? Getting real tired of this shit.
This is ridiculous.
We gotta close that door. T, you're up.
Let's go. Okay.
I'll get back to it. Apparently, you know, Essentially Dildo's not the only person out here to recommend that Clarkson's Farm. And I've seen little clips of it. I want to check it out. I need something else to cover too. I got to figure other things to talk about. I don't want to be a one-trick pony. Even though, like I said, I'm still going to talk to Boston Content since it's doing so well.
It's using its friends as weapons? Ha!
Let's keep fighting.
Seriously? Stay strong. Bingo! Huh? Good luck.
About damn time. Chill out.
God, man. Fucking attack.
I'm still kicking. Fuck on this. I'll head back.
All set.
Okay, what do I do? This hill. Shit.
I've got you covered.
Fuck on this. Want some more? Bring in the heat.
I'm not making a Little Mermaid video. That is, I can bet money I'm not making that. That's the precise video that will never get made on this channel. Because I don't give a shit about the Little Mermaid, and I'm not going to act like I do. Yes, we will defeat the New World Order before I make a video. That is like prime example. Prime example of a video you will never see on this channel. I'm not going to act like I give a shit about the Little Mermaid. I might do a short. When it comes out, you know, I've given a take of I'd rather her stay white because she's the worst character and taught a bunch of girls to be whores. I've given that take. I might do a short on that when that shit drops. You know what I'm saying? Just to tease the algo. I might do that. So I as much as I talk shit, I might give you one of those. I might do a short on it now that you mention it. I think that'd be funny. Cause it isn't, you know. The fuck let me think about how fucked up that was. She just tossed her whole family, her whole species all over some dick. Just threw them away for some penis, man. That's a terrible example. You know what I'm saying? That's a terrible message. Throw it all. So keep her white. Shit, don't bring that shit to us. We got enough issues, man. Keep that fucking Marine Kingdom demon white. Shit. It's a fucking demon. Mermaids are demonic creatures anyway. Fuck the Little Mermaid. I never fucked I mean, you know, I like the Under the Sea song and shit, but I never really liked the movie. Thought it was bullshit. Thought even back then. A lot of those Disney movies ain't really that great. People remember them. And shit, I was watching something and they were talking about how, Disney was creative. Disney wasn't creative. All he did is take a bunch of fucking fairy tales and folk tales and make animated movies about them. And they think he's some fucking genius. It's like, get the fuck out of here. This guy was, I mean, listen, the animation itself obviously was revolutionary. But let's not act like this guy was a fucking genius. He's just a fucking, you know, he stole a bunch of shit that was already in the public domain and made a bunch of money off of it. He's not a fucking genius. Get the fuck out of here. But people don't know that. They just know Disney is the brand and the joy and the magic. Fuck out of here. Disney's that's the real hot take. Disney's always been trash. Not saying, you know, I like The Lion King, I like Toy Story and shit like that, Wall-E. But Disney has always been trash. Make no mistake.
Do this right.
Fiending for some sci-fi shit. This rant's a good short. Maybe I'll clip it out. You're right. Fiending for some good sci-fi space shit. Watch the old shit. I might clip this out. What time is it? 1 minute, hour and 52. I'll go back and try to clip this out. But yeah, man, fucking Disney was never like one of the most overrated creatives ever. He makes Steve Jobs look like a genius, man. He's overrated. If you get a big enough brand, they'll overrate the shit out of you, man. I'm about to die. Fuck. That's it. Shit. For All Mankind is good. I'll have to check that out. What's For All Mankind? Is that the shit about the moon landing? God, I don't feel like doing this over. Fuck. Let's do there. So let's see. There we got the ice. Okay, I guess I gotta do it. Oh, it's an alternate history moon landing. Okay. For all we know, that's the real history. Maybe they went up there and saw something. Maybe they actually did go with the fucking technology in our phones. Or less technology than we have in our phones. Who knows? So that seems interesting. Something to check out. more like a text from a calculator, right? And that fucking golf cart that they called the moon buggy. Yeah, that was enough to combat the gravity of the moon. A fucking golf cart with no extra weight on it, or a little bit extra weight from the so-called tech. That was able to do it. And if you think anything different, clearly you're just a tinfoil hat. How could you, how could they have easily faked the moon landing? With rudimentary technology, and yeah, how could they possibly have faked it?
You good?
Like you even got a head. Asshole! Fuck on this! Firing one off!
That still sounds terrible.
Gotta love it! Hurry up!
One time, fuck.
I got this.
You sure about that?
Gotta be smart.
Oh shit.
Watch and learn!
I saw a doc somewhere about a Russian cosmonaut who went missing or flatline. Barely anything out there about that. Wow. And then what's with this yellow jacket shit? All I see is a bunch of white women. What's the yellow jackets?
Fuck on this!
I'm not up on. See, I'm not up in these streets like I used to be, guys. Where I was, you're hitting me with all sorts of shit. This SEL shit. This, yellow jacket shit. Jeremy Clarkson has a farm apparently. It's a lot of stuff to handle, man.
We gotta close that duct. Team, you're up.
Okay, cover me.
Oh, fuck you. Some show. I see. I never heard of it. I gotta check it out, I guess. It's a new thing, just check everything out. It's a girls team. Okay. Girls base. What type of sport is it? What is it? What is it for? Is it good? Is it interesting? Is it stupid? What is the street saying about the Yellow Jackets? They're savage, really.
It's using its friends as weapons? Seriously?
Knitting? Is that for real? What?
About damn time. Reaper, watch out.
Yeah, bitch, yeah.
Chill out.
That was close.
Hit fire. Here it comes. Gotta love it.
Shit. God, you said goddamn Juliette Lewis got old. Yeah, she's got to be in her 50s, 60s now, right? Been a long time. We're all getting old. See, I never heard of it. So they survive a plane crash. Hold on. I'll see what Joe. I thought Joe, you dipped out. I appreciate you showing back up. I thought Madden took you away from us. They survive a plane crash in the wilderness. It's a take on Lord of the Flies with teenagers. I see. I see. Is it good? Soccer team and plane crash in the woods for 19 months. Oh, brutal. Brutal. Is it just a like Lord of the Flies thing, or is it based on something? Almost sounds like a story. Oh man, that does sound kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Oh man. Hold on. Are they gonna survive? Yes.
Stay strong.
Jeez, when does this go to the next phase?
How about an ice cold can of whoop ass?
God damn it.
Can't afford to be reckless. Gotta be smart. Kept you waiting?
White women do be ruthless. Black women tried to warn us. They did. They came up with the carrot thing. We didn't listen. We didn't listen. Sounds right up my alley, except it's the all women part. Well, finally they're showing all women in a brutal, and it flashes back to current day and back to the crash. Well, finally they're doing something where because they never include the women into fucked up things. It's always like this cool shit, right? It's just like in real life. They never want to like have women like fucking undersea welders and shit. They just want women to be girl bosses. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, okay, instead of, oh yeah, it's just the women can do it all by themselves. Like, no, women being brutal sociopaths because they're in a fucked up situation, and they're the ones being real dark and brutal and primal. So fuck yeah, finally, instead of always showing these motherfuckers as like the Burgons of fucking, you know, of all that's right in the world. It's like, no, there's some crazy bitches. It is progress, yeah. Cause you know they never want to be blue collar workers. They all just want to be girl bosses. And it's like, nope, this ain't a girl boss. This ain't this is a motherfucker. You know what I mean? gutting their fucking best friend in the opening scene. You know what I'm saying? Some of the brutal shit that, you know, usually they would have men doing all that. So finally, this is true equality. You know what I'm saying? Instead of that bullshit they keep talking about. I didn't watch it until now because of the girl boss, Stacy. You thought that's what it was too, because that's what I would think. You know what I'm saying?
Got some fight left in you.
The big one's the only one that matters.
Now we can concentrate on the mission.
Shit. Oh shit, that's too effective of an attack. This thing's just standing there, thank goodness. Somewhat fair. She's dead as fuck, bro.
Feeling a bit chilly?
Shit, that's it. Dead. Oh, somehow I still survive.
Ain't no thing.
Golly, this fucking boss.
We still got a job to do.
Shit. It's death. God damn it. This fucking thing is like impossible, man.
It's nothing. Good to go?
Fuck you, man. God damn it.
This guy really wants to see us dead. Let's turn this around.
Oh, fuck you.
Time to go to town on this thing.
This thing is fucking impossible. Fuck this thing. Like, she might just have to be dead. I mean, I ain't got no fucking magic. Fuck. I'm dead because I can't dodge this attack. It's bullshit, man. Heading to bed. All right. Good night. I don't know how many times I could do this shit, man. Because this fucking thing is killing me. I'll do one more. What was it? And then we'll watch the SEL thing and then get out of here. We'll do one more. Because I can only take so much frustration in my life. But we watching Battlestar Galactica. Now there's some strong independent women's. I'd allow it to sit on my face, no problem. Yeah. Like, you know what? That shit wasn't a thing until they made it a thing, right? You didn't. Why keep doing that? You didn't care about. And I hate to just a long said talking point, but you didn't care about women that stood up for themselves back then because they weren't trying to like constantly shit on the men in the process. And it didn't make a lot of those characters weren't perfect. They still were flawed. You know what I'm saying? That's all we were asking for is humanity. There's all sorts of different personality types, but not every fucking girl is a girl boss and she's stronger and smarter than all the dumb men. So it's like, all right, I'm not gonna watch. And you know what? I'll say it. A lot of these bitches look at men, man. Because you're not supposed to base things upon looks. I think a lot of the casting, that they're intentionally casting less attractive women. like you still see hot girls cast and shit. They're never gonna go too far. But I think there is a push to more natural women that people can see themselves in. So on top of seeing that trope, you know, you're also seeing uglier bitches. Let's just keep it a buck. Little more, you know, a little more fupa. Nothing's wrong with a fupa. Difference there were layers to their characters. Being a quote unquote boss bitch was only one of the layers, and again, a lot of these characters were flawed. A lot of these characters made mistakes. They had growth, or they didn't have growth, and that was part of the character. You know what I mean? It was they didn't grow from the shit they're doing. They still have this trait. So I mean, it was a part of it. But these days, that they're just there to, you know, stop toxic masculinity, and nobody wants to watch. Well, I say nobody. We talked about the Madden fans. Die Hard still watch. Die Hard's going to watch rain, sleet, hail, snow.
No. Of course there's more.
You could?
Like you even gotta ask. Fire one off. How about a nice coat and a whoop ass? Gotta love it.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck this thing.
Let's go.
Getting real tired of this shit.
This is ridiculous.
We gotta close that gap.
Oh, man.
See, you're up.
Like, I don't know how this shit goes after 50 tries. Shit. Jeez. Oh man. Hopefully I beat this fucking thing this time. I'm really sick of this shit. Can't skip. Just gotta go through the fucking cutscene. But I mean, in general, these characters don't have layers. Not just most of these characters are pretty one-dimensional, just for average. There's obviously a lot of exceptions. There are some shows that people are liking out there, and some movies that are a little bit better. But I mean, they've. That's why this writer strike is gonna be fucking interesting, man. Because it's like you guys have not been. You guys are not. You're in no position to strike to me. And maybe that, you know, a lot of this, listen, ain't no maybe to it. A lot of quality, the lower quality content, it's not the writer's fault per se. They get told to do a job. They get told, you know, the producers and the execs basically tell them what characters to write, and they write them. But it's like, well, especially in the AI world, yeah, an AI can do your job for what you're doing. Fuck. Please don't get killed.
Stay strong.
Got him.
up! You're about to catch a cold!
Okay. Next phase. Let's try not to die.
All that's left is to deal with these three.
God, did that backfire? Fuck! This thing is fucking unbeatable, man. It has a fucking homing attack that does so much fucking damage. I can't do this again, guys. I can't do this shit anymore, man. I've reached the limit for the night. I'll check that video that you put in the chat earlier. But we're done here. Wait, no. Let me actually go from last battle, make sure it's a save so I don't have to do all this shit over. I mean, I know you guys can't see the screen. I'm just gonna save it and quit. Okay. Oops. Yes, quit the game. All right, put the shit on the charger real quick, and then I'll check out the video, and then we'll probably get out of here. And I'm probably gonna do a 100 sub stream at some point this week, maybe even tomorrow. I saw a review of a movie, Tar, with Kate Blanchett. She's super successful. She's a super successful orchestra conductor. Seems like a boss bitch trope at first glance, but they flip her and basically make her Harvey Dent, Harvey something, or is there a Harvey that I don't think of? I'm not thinking of Harvey Weinstein. Oh wow, she uses young women. Oh shit. Oh man, she uses young women for the kitty cat, manipulates them, psychologically ruins them, and basically she's a sociopath. So that's interesting. Now they're starting to show, now they're showing women everything. They're starting to show some of the dark side of some of these women. Yo, that's a real thing, dude. Because I mean, shit. Especially you talk about back in the day, a lot of these those old school whorehouses, they were ran by women. They were ran by women. Everyone talk about the male pimp, man. They don't talk about the female madams that really so look for this video. That really kept that whole institution what it was. They always blame the men. They don't ever blame the women for that shit. So that's wild.
What if you could do
Shut up. What if you could shut the fuck up? How about that? Okay, let's let this commercial play. Okay, it's 12 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm gonna watch the whole thing, but it's something to watch. I may watch and pause and talk about. Let's actually show the screen. This is now we can all learn about the joy of social emotional learning. So let's play it. How loud or not loud is this? Let me actually turn this up a little.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of New Discourses Bullets. This is James Lindsay. Here on New Discourses Bullets, we take one important topic and break it down quickly, succinctly, but completely so that you can make better decisions around that topic. And today, that topic is social and emotional learning, or SEL. Very
let me know how
this
sounds.
So I can tell you a lot of things about social and emotional learning.
Cool.
Most importantly, what you need to know, if you have just 1 minute to have listened to this, is that the people who are implementing social and emotional learning on purpose belong in prison, because it is advocating that teachers practice psychology without a license in unregulated, non-therapeutic spaces on groups of children. As you're going to hear, it's for an even worse purpose. What is social and emotional learning? It's a program that's meant to intervene on troubled learners, as you will, in education. So troubled learners might be kids who have trouble at home. They have problems going on with their family. They struggle with the material. They have social issues with their classmates, and it puts up an impediment to their learning, or so we might think. It was originally designed, in fact, to intervene in racial minority schools in inner cities,
Of course.
and was developed as a specifically leftist
First thing to do is
plan
fuck with
to
us.
work social and emotional content into education. It has since been co-opted by a organization called CASTLE, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, and has been transformed through a number of iterations. The current iteration is known as Transformative Social and Emotional Learning, or Trans-SEL, and being transformative is a kind of watchword for Marxism. You know that its goal is, as they explicitly tell you in the literature, to induce critical consciousness in students. In other words, to induce them into Marxism. I often describe social and emotional learning as the hypodermic needle that injects identity Marxist theories like critical race theory, queer theory, gender ideology, comprehensive sex education, fat studies, disability studies, and so on into our kids. The way that it works is that the teacher, pretending to be a psychologist, is going to intervene with the entire classroom and make them engage in various survey taking and social and emotional content, where they're going to put them into situations that the Marxist educator Paulo Freire would have referred to as generative contexts, where they talk about social and emotional problems in place of, say, math or reading, and then they are told the right answers to those social and emotional circumstances as derived from the sociological theories and the identity Marxist theories.
Okay, so I'm not sure if he's going to give an example of this. I do want to pause just so I don't totally jack his content, right? Because I might go through this whole video. This seems crazy. Especially the survey part, right? So I guess the teachers surveyed the class based upon the demographics of their class and based upon, how the responses are. They're basically given these prompts, at least from what I'm understanding. They're given prompts and situations and told how they should go and how they're supposed to go according to the critical race spectrum or the critical spectrum, I should say. He'll give an example if I remember correctly. All right, let's keep going.
In their own words, you can tell that this is a Marxist grift because when they, on the CASTLE website, CASEL for Collaborative for Academic and Social and Emotional Learning, they give the following definition. We define social and emotional learning, SEL, as an integral part of education and human development.
Okay.
So they define it as something you just have to do in education. They go on to say
Kai?
SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities,
We're learning about
manage
social
emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals.
You just did a Breath of the Wild stream. I know you've been doing that. We're learning about social emotional learning. We're trying to figure it out.
Process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals.
Before going into this, the push of psychology to the people in and of itself was kind of one of those first waves of things that broke people down. Because then, the term narcissist is used anytime you disagree with somebody now, right? And all these different psychological principles that they push upon the masses. Self-esteem, that's another one, which led to, self-esteem and self-assessment are two different things. It led to the emphasis being on how do you feel about yourself as opposed to how do you assess yourself and progress with whatever your path in life is. So before we even get into, whatever this is, the first, or one of the first, maybe it was the second wave of this shit. I'm not as well versed on how everything went timeline wise, but just the push of psychology onto normal people. Because listen, if you read up on some of the fathers of psychology, they were some fucked up folk. Let's just say that. And it's I don't know if you guys are the most qualified individuals to talk about the human mind and human behavior, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to this.
Feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. They never quite tell you what social and emotional learning is then. Social and emotional learning is, in fact, practicing psychology in the educational context. It evolved originally, despite its weird leftist roots, in a model that encouraged kind of taking personal responsibility to intervene in a small group setting or one-on-one setting with kids who are having problems using.
Sister Diddle says he'd recommend Adam Curtis's documentary. He goes into a lot into the psychology part. Okay, I'll check him out.
A licensed therapist or counselor in a therapeutic space set aside from the classroom, and advocated that you can learn to manage your emotions, to deal with your social circumstances, and to deal with the other social and emotional problems you might be having that are an impediment to your learning, and it had some degree of success. This evolved into what's called a participatory model that was kind of hijacking the original plan and making it into something where you're going to do social activism as part of that's what participatory means, participatory in a so-called democratic society. And then that evolved after the Castle organization took it up to the transformative model, which is explicitly carrying the goal of creating critical consciousness in place of education, which is to say, to reproduce the Marxist education theory of Paulo Freire, using psychological tools to do so.
So again, pausing this, to be slightly objective, I will say, without, apparently there is going to be an example. I would have liked a little bit earlier, because this just sounds like fluff both ways. The whole concept of social emotional learning, when you hear about it, just sounds like that sort of well-meaning government leftist fluff where you say a bunch of things that sound nice but doesn't mean anything. Lindsay's definition of what it really is sounds interesting, as far as it being something to push Marxism and critical theory into kids and into education, and to push what else do you say? Shit, I can't think. It just slipped my mind because it is starting to get late. But I get that, but I really need an example of what that is. I really do need to know. Okay, I know what a critical race theory in and of itself looks like. I know what critical gender theory looks like. I know what this queer theory looks like. I understand those things as separate entities. I don't necessarily know how, as he described it, at least as of yet, it's the syringe that of which those things get pushed in. I definitely do need some examples. And then Adam Curtis, The Century of Self is the one to watch. I will check it. As I started with good intentions, but the comics subverted it, which they usually do. And that's another thing. I can see this being sold to parents and sold to people as a good thing. If you guys are in the right algorithm, you'll see there's a lot of outbursts at kids, or not at kids, but from kids to administrators, kids to teachers, kids to people in the school system. That's and it's across culture. It's not just, you can't just blame us, which I know a lot of cuck conservatives will do in their cities. No, it's happening in middle of nowhere too. These kids who weren't raised by shit, they were raised by their iPads, and they're talking out, and they're being very disruptive, right, towards a lot of teachers, and that's been like a viral thing and a viral talking point. So what do you sell all these adults and parents who go to work and come back and don't really know what's going on? You sell them something like social emotional learning. Oh, they'll learn how to manage their emotions better, and we'll tailor it to them, and it sounds nice. And you see that there's a nefarious thing. But I would like for Mr. Lindsay to kind of give us some examples, just to, I can see where it is, but it's like I need a little more help.
So whereas this personal responsibility model with individual kids in therapeutic settings with qualified professionals might be a reasonable and helpful thing to do in many cases, applying this in the classroom setting from the very beginning, helpful individual kids in therapeutic settings with qualified professionals might be a reasonable and helpful thing to do in many cases. Applying this in the classroom setting from the very beginning, even when it was first being explored, shows highly irregular results. They claim that there's a lot of evidence for this, that it works. It shows highly irregular results that depended intimately on how enthusiastically the participants on both ends, teachers and students, were.
You bring a good point. iPad learning is interesting. It's all about the data harvesting. Yeah. Or data mining. Same difference. You know what I mean? It's a lot of data. And only God knows all the stuff that data is being used for, not just marketing, but just in the way they shape society, way they shape things towards kids. But I mean, people didn't, they're too busy on Tinder trying to find a new baby mama or a new baby daddy to be paying attention to what their kids is learning, on top of working and trying to pay the bills. But I will say this, he keeps talking about that they're using psychology outside of a therapeutic context and outside of basically a normal psychologist or psychiatrist, which he didn't say psychiatry, which is obviously different. But I'm saying psychiatry for a good reason, because psychiatrists can prescribe medicine. I think, I talked about earlier, psychology being brought into the masses, into the consciousness of the masses. Let's be honest, there's a generation of kids who got fucked up by these quote unquote therapeutic situations with doctors who just got Ritalin, who just got Xanax, who just got drugs. I just got Lexapro. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like the therapeutic, let's not act like licensed therapists and licensed psychologists in the therapeutic context is some, holy grail in and of itself. Even before we get to this, because they certainly have a lot to answer for fucking everything up. What they're just prescribing the drugs first, second, third, and not worrying about anything. So let's not let them off the hook as that's the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I really think psychology as gospel has been a terrible way of not that there's still a lot to gain from human psychology, don't get me wrong, but psychology as gospel has been definitely detrimental, especially just the medical community as gospel and in general has been detrimental to the people, so to speak. So I do want to push back on that, but let's keep going.
As this program evolved from this personal responsibility model, which could be of lots of benefit and value if it were done in a responsible way, with licensed counselors providing it in therapeutic spaces one-on-one to children who are identified as at need.
Again,
as it evolved,
has it always worked out?
Collaborative, that's a kind of a collectivist word for academic social emotional learning, took over. They identified 5 key areas that social emotional learning should be intervening into the kids' cognition. And those are what are called the Castle 5: self-awareness, self-management, responsible decision-making, relationship skills, and social awareness. And it sounds like those are all kind of good, but when you start looking at self-awareness in terms of, say, gender ideology and becoming aware of what it means to be your gender or maybe even your racial identity, self-management, having something to do with...
Okay, another little pushback point. I mean, okay, we've seen the identity politics thing get out of hand, right? But I feel like there's been this push, and this is actually ironically, this is letting you know how Hegelian the shit is, right? Because this is something the powers that be want. There's a push to be kind of anti-cultural, right? As a way of handling a lot of the different culture clashes and the different divisiveness. And I'm not with that either, to be anti, race doesn't matter. Race is is well beyond overblown and well beyond, not to say that racism is, but just the constant racial division, they're pushing that shit like crazy. But you don't want to go so far that you're against having a racial identity and against being proud of your national or racial background. There's a way of being proud of yourself that doesn't have to shit on others. And I think that gets missed. Even in conversations I've had with other people, on stream, talking about the racial politics, it's been, that's been kind of something that they'll toss out, like, oh, we shouldn't care about race at all. And it's like, well, I deserve to have a coat. If I have a culture and I have some pride amongst it, there's nothing wrong with that. It's when you start to infringe on other people and push it on other people and say, oh, you're something else because of it. So again, yeah, you're right, since you did everything sounds nice, and that's why they're able to sell all this shit. They're very good at using sweet words and sweet sounding phrases. But again, I find myself pushing back at Lindsay at just certain things that he's saying, because not that he's necessarily saying anything, but it's like, listen, yeah, having a racial identity is not an issue. It's not empowering. The way they frame things certainly is not empowering. But just being proud of your race, being proud of yourself, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is how things have been framed and how things have been pushed as a means of division. So I just wanted to put, a lot of people say, okay, how do we stop these identity politics? No one have an identity. I'm like, I don't think that's the answer either. So I figured I'd say something about that. And plus, again, not trying to just jack this dude video. This video is probably gonna be 20 some odd minutes since we're going through the whole thing. But I don't want to just keep playing. I gotta talk to.
Making sure that you're a good ally, responsible decision making,
having
something to do with taking up social activism, relationship skills being dictated through these social theories, and social awareness being the tool for bringing in these identity Marxist social theories. You can see how this gets kind of dangerous. And that participatory model that the Castle organization took up quickly turned into the transformative or Marxist version, where again the goal is, explicitly in their own words, to make education be about raising critical consciousness. They use they justify doing this using what they call a trauma-informed perspective, or a harm-oriented perspective. There are good reasons to believe that this is actually derived from Scientology, not psychology. There was a offshoot, a spin-off version of Scientology created called Reevaluation Counseling that was very interested in taking this trauma-informed approach that uses the same kind of interviewing techniques and so on.
To do another pause, I thought he was going to say a spinoff of the MK, we'll call Mortal Kombat 1 program, since that's now the new game. Well, I thought he was going to say about that, because it's like trauma-based mind control is a huge thing, right? And I thought that's where he was going, but I didn't know that Scientology played a role in this. But Scientology allegedly is a part of the military-industrial complex, believe it or not. And some of those practices are alleged to be offshoots of Mortal Kombat. But we'll see.
On that,
and that's code
in
words
the social emotional learning. So this is cult grooming, is what social and emotional learning is actually about. Cult grooming always works in the same way. You induce vulnerability and you give people a way out of that vulnerability through adopting the doctrine and separating from a broader community that might correct them back. And so that's what social.
That's something we've seen a lot of, what he just said about that cult-like grooming of separate. That's how they've been able to really work on quote unquote both sides, is you separate from society and you go into the group and you start to do things based upon the group. So that's interesting.
Emotional learning does. It might even teach them that your parents or the grandparents or culture that you're embedded within don't have the right answers, that they've been oppressive and damaging and have had this wrong for generations. And
you don't have the answers, old man.
The groomers that are doing the social and emotional learning as both teaching authority figures but also psychological authority figures are the ones that you have to turn to get the right answers.
I will say this, knowing what we know about the educator class, right? We know that's the biggest class. He uses the term groomer. They're the biggest class of actual groomers that we have. They're very abusive, possessive. These are my kids. And giving those guys and gals, mainly gals, but giving these motherfuckers psychological tools to manipulate your kids in and of itself is a scary concept. And giving these guys this, because they already have a false sense of authority in society. I know there's a few good teachers, but that's why I don't feel too much sympathy for what I was talking about earlier with some of these teachers getting fucked up. It is fucked up, but I know a lot of these motherfuckers are evil at their core, man, because I went through the school system. A lot of fucked up teachers already. And that was back in the day. I can only imagine what it is now. Granted, I did go through some Detroit public schools, Southfield, and the Boone public schools. Maybe it's Michigan.
So in practice, social emotional learning involves a lot of emotional manipulation and abuse of children. It induces that vulnerability. Gives
Still
them
need an
these,
example, though.
Generative circumstances, as Freire might have it, where they bring up emotional resonances about unfairness, about injustice, about poverty, about all kinds of racism, sexism, about their gender identity or sexual identity, and then gives them the right answers according to the social theories or identity Marxist theories as to how that vulnerability can be resolved, whether it's by becoming an activist, whether through a participatory model, whether it's by raising critical consciousness, through a transformative model, or some of both. It also
said Lindsay started the OK groomer trend on Twitter. Didn't know that. Now he's starting to get into some of the meat because we have seen this. What he's talking about using a specific context of quote unquote oppression or men have oppressed women, and this is the solution for that oppression. So that's something we definitely have seen from the left the past few years, the past decade plus, longer than that. But I mean, as far as when this has been active, the quote unquote woke generation, we've seen a lot of that. This is XYZ is oppressive towards this group, and this is the solution to stop this oppressive action. We were talking about that. Was it Miller Lite or whatever commercial with it? Okay, all these sexist men looking at women in these calendars. Now I'll put them in their place. That will stop it. That's the corrective action. So we've seen that.
So it turns out that social emotional learning is one of the few things that's mandated to be measured by many states in the United States right now. And in so doing, what they've actually done is turned social emotional learning into an excuse to data mine children. There are all kinds of nefarious reasons why children are being data mined in schools, but this is an issue of incredible importance for policymakers and lawmakers to be considering.
You just brought up data mining with the iPads. I didn't even think about this because they talked about the surveys earlier. Now that's very nefarious. But if we can't get motherfuckers to stop buying Madden, we're not going to get motherfuckers to stop tossing their kids in these indoctrination camps. They're not going to stop. Some people will, but not in mass. I hate the education system. That's carried over from the old channel. I'm going to still talk shit. This education system, this indoctrination system is for nobody. It's bullshit.
Because the data mining of children
Yep,
is...
you don't get to speak. You're not insert identity. And shit, even weight is a part of the identity. You're not fat. You don't get to speak.
For policymakers and lawmakers to be considering, because the data mining of children is...
And again, going back to what he said, policy and lawmakers should be considering. Brother, this is why I have the context I have. They're not considering your side. I don't care if they got an R by their name. They're based. The politicians and lawmakers are not going to ever consider anything other than what the bureaucracy and the corporate oligarchy tells them to. Sorry. Stop looking at them. That's another thing I want to shake from people. This isn't policy or lawmakers. You go right in front of your school. You want to stop this? You go to your school board. You let a bunch of parents know, and you go to your school board. You don't sit there, and this is something you can actually control. We talked about earlier, if you was watching the stream, and this is probably going to be clipped out, so you got to watch the whole stream. I couldn't tell you what part it was. We talked earlier about how there's not a lot we can do for certain things. We can't really stop the Fed now. We can't stop some of the evil things that the powers that be are putting on top of society. But you can stop some of the evil shit in the education system. You can go to your school board. You can go down to the principal's office, and you can go with other parents and stop some of this bullshit from being put in your schools. And some of you might, but most of you don't. Most of you just still trust the education system, still plop your kids in front of it, and then wonder why they come home fucked up. We've shown this shit where you have the girl, right before she goes to college, and then one semester in and everything, she's changed it. Her hair is half shaven, bunch of tattoos, hates her parents, and they were doing that in college. Now they're starting at fucking elementary school with this shit. And you didn't do a fucking thing but send your kid there and jerk off. So fuck you, parents.
Social emotional learning into an excuse to data mine children. There are all kinds of nefarious reasons why children are being data mined in schools, but this is an issue of incredible importance for policymakers and lawmakers to be considering.
They're not doing shit,
Because the
guy.
data mining of children is strictly speaking evil. The programs that they have, the ideas that they have in mind for psychologically profiling children and correlating that with various data like their parents' socioeconomic, racial, sexual, etc. status are of tremendous concern. But data...
That's sick. First, let me get to Sense Dildo's point. He says, remember they start calling parents who were trying to stop this domestic terrorist? Yes, not only do I remember that, and I covered it, they're on terrorist lists. If you push back at your kid getting read to by a rainbow dildo monkey, or your kid being raped by a quote unquote trans person who went in the other bathroom, you were considered a domestic terrorist. You were considered somebody who should be on the FBI watch list. So yeah, they definitely put any parent who, so to kind of temper what I said, not necessarily temper, but just to give you the context. Yeah, you might get considered a domestic terrorist for calling, going up to your school and saying, hey, this isn't right. That's crazy, but that's true. That's how far along this has gotten. And I will say this to be somewhat fair to the parents, and this is one of the reasons I'm not so gung-ho to have kids. I understand that practically and realistically for a lot of parents, homeschooling, just as much as even parents who want it to happen, they can't make it happen if you're talking about single parent situations or low income situations. And even single, middle class, if you're talking about taking away one of those incomes so they can educate the kids, it can be a rough situation. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to that fact, but buddy, these schools are evil and you have to operate from that. This is why I operate from these institutions are evil. It makes everything simpler. And so now it's easier for me to dodge what I need to dodge in life. So this is why I have that perspective. I know a lot of people have pushed back at it, and that's fair. That's fine. But I'm not crazy, man. These institutions are indeed evil, as we're hearing.
Data mining children in schools and using this program as an excuse to do so is absolutely unacceptable. Finally, kind of as a one additional point is that there's another buzzword in the social emotional learning scene, which is called systemic social emotional learning. And the goal of systemic social emotional learning is to infuse social emotional learning into every subject. Again, this reproduces the generative concepts goals of the Freirean Marxist form of education. The idea is that to reproduce the existing system, we educate kids to participate in it by learning to read, do math, write, etc., and be skilled at growing up to be competent adults in the existing economy.
Wait a second, that's not the case. This is what I mean, that he's building things on kind of false premises. We're talking about the politicians. That has never been the actual goal of the education system ever. That's it. And you know what? As much as James Lindsay is anything, he's still someone who is an academic at heart. Which can be beneficial when you talk about a lot of research and a lot of the way things are applied. That's why he's become so popular, because he's a very research and facts-oriented individual. But the idea that the education system was about teaching people to be competent adults to exist in the economy is just wholly false. It is I can't even believe that statement was implied. Let's go back. Maybe I misheard it. Let's see.
Narrative concepts goals of the
Talk about the
Freirean.
stated goals. Okay, so maybe I misheard a part. That's fair enough. That is the stated goals, but that's never been the actual goals.
Marxist form of education. The idea is that to reproduce the existing system, we educate kids to participate in it by learning to read, do math, write, etc., and be skilled at growing up to be competent adults in the existing economy, which they want to overthrow from a Marxist perspective. So instead, you teach them to be critically conscious, and you use every single subject to do so.
Competent drones from the system, exactly.
Social emotional learning should be a felony to knowingly implement, particularly when it is the transformative variant of social emotional learning. For people who actually know its purpose, which is to inject these identity Marxist theories and to induce a replica of the Maoist form of identity politics that we used to create the Red Guard and overthrow Chinese society, for his communist purposes. The people who know that that's what this ultimately leads to should also be brought up on felony charges of sedition, because they are actually using children to try to overthrow the government. And it sounds like I'm being quite extremist in my interpretation of social.
That's why I would also disagree. They're not getting, they're not using children to overthrow the government. This is the government they're using children to, if anything, reveal the way the actual government it is, or to install the modern government. They're not overthrowing the original government that we thought we had has already been overthrown. We are not in anything. We've already talked about that earlier in the stream. This is not a republic. This is a corporate oligarchy, ladies and gentlemen. There is the government are the banks. The government are the corporations, and they are not the famous people. You know, it's not the Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, which in his Optimus program, might want to look into that and wonder why the guy who owns Twitter has this AI robot showing up. And that Optimus program is publicly visible information that can be found on Google for anyone who's interested in that sort of stuff.
Emotional learning, but that is my opinion. The nut and bolt that you need to take home is that while social emotional learning, the things that it talks about could be useful in a one-on-one setting with a qualified therapist with a troubled child who's been identified as such in a therapeutic space, it is in practice the application of practice of psychology without a license in a group setting, which is non-therapeutic, non-controlled, with children. In other words, it is practicing group psychology on children without a license in an abusive manner where they're being given the right.
That's what Walt Disney has done for 100 years, buddy.
Right answers by people who are badly informed with Marxist social theories.
I don't know if I got a hardcore simple example. I mean, he did provide different context for what he was talking about. But I would have liked a dumbed down example for the, a dumbed down example of critical race theory is here you write a paper, talk about your oppressiveness. And that's an example of, talk about how you've been oppressed if you're of a certain demographic, and talk about how you are an oppressor if you're of a certain demographic. That's an example, a simple example of critical race theory. And I was hoping for something like that for this. You know what though? I'm gonna check out some of these comments. Let's actually go back because there's some interesting comments. And sorry for all this vidIQ stuff, but whatever. I'm a public school teacher. Couldn't really understand why teachers were pushed to be more of a parent, counselor, friend, and less of a teacher, which makes for a stressed out teacher and kids with more issues that simply cannot be resolved in the classroom. Interesting. Right now, my 9-year-old daughter's been given an approaching from the bottom of the scale, something we call a good global citizen. And I'm like, that's my girl. What is this? An approaching. Oh, is it approaching? Is that a grade? I'm assuming that's a grade. Approaching. That's nothing. They've redone this grading system. That's the bottom of the scale for something called. So she's proud. See, this is another thing. You're proud that your daughter apparently is not going into the Marxism thing, but you're not going to take your daughter out of that school system. You're just, oh yeah, she's fighting the liberals. It's like, no, take her out. She's 9. Let's see. I have an autistic child. His teachers pushed him to a breaking point with SEL, to the point where he was having very severe meltdowns, which were traumatic for him and everyone else. Luckily, special needs parents called all the shots. We had the ability to get them to teach him appropriately because we have an IEP, individualized education plan. Every kid deserves that, honestly. I would agree with that on some level. But again, I know the education system, that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem with this whole presentation is the education system was always a fundamentally fucked up system. It would help tremendously if you listed out the bullet points of these terms. I agree. And give more examples of what was going on. When I was teaching science, it was mandatory to integrate SEL practices in the classroom once a week. The administration would give teachers a sideshow to indoctrinate kids on one aspect of SEL after another. I always tried to undercut the lessons, but there are a few conservative teachers anymore. Well, it's not just this conservative liberal shit. Everybody still accepts the system. Everybody still accepts the system as gospel. Let's see. That's exactly what I was saying. I know some licensed psychologists that shouldn't have been practicing. No way I want a random school teacher doing it. I'm gonna read a few more of these comments and then I'll go back to this. Roger Holberg says, my ultra left county's public school has blown right past SEL and documents prior audit of Montgomery County, Maryland public school system by Judicial Watch. It turns out that it's using a psychoeducational lessons on race in 4th through 8th grades. In brief, psychoeducational is defined as a form of education that's specifically offered to individuals who are suffering from distinct mental conditions impairing their ability to lead their lives. By giving lessons to all 4th through 8th graders, the school must consider them to have mental health conditions impairing them to have the ability to lead their lives. Well, they do. They're only in the 4th to 8th grade. So they're stupid. That's a joke. And is using teachers as their therapists, which is fucking crazy. Is appropriately falling distinct mental health conditions. Some of the various conditions that may merit psychoeducational intervention include anxiety disorders, personality disorders. Oh man, teachers. As we have said, psychologists can't handle this shit. Teachers definitely can't. Psychotic illnesses, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and clinical depression. They're using it to treat presumed racism. The country's public schools have gone insane, yet presume to give psychological treatment to perfectly healthy children. Well, we talked about Maryland. Maryland is the home of the Baltimore school system, one of the most expensive school systems in the world. You guys can see I'm doing see all my other stuff. See boxing. I'm just noticing this. This is exactly what I watch: conspiracy stuff, music stuff, and fucking me trying to do vocal warm up. So old 80s shit. So there's that. But let's get back to some of these comments. Okay, haven't watched the video yet. Every time I hear the phrase social emotional learning, several nodes in my brains are screaming in fear and loathing. Everything about it sounds like emotional manipulation. It does sound like that. Again, would have liked some simple examples. Allowing politicians and governments and agents to raise our kids is a huge conflict of interest. Well, it's something we've done for a good 100 years. And we're not going to stop anytime soon. I wonder why they're trying to get from objectivity and logic, except I'm not sure. I actually wonder, yeah. Yeah, okay, we can go through these comments all day, but see what you guys are saying, and then we'll probably wrap up. Counter drones from the system is a two-pronged attack from Maoist from the bottom and Leninist from the top down. He talks in other videos about it. I see. Just a short version, though. I'll find one with examples next time. That's fine. There's many videos. He has vids with examples. I thought this one is it. Oh, no. I appreciate learning about the concept. As much as I've tried to, be objective and push back at times, it sounds frightening. Even the concept that the little example I gave about critical theory is in and of itself probably an example of social emotional learning, where you take, the demographics of the class determines who writes what paper. I think that probably is also an example of social emotional learning, at least about from what I see. And just the idea that they're going to use psychological principles and really psychological manipulation in the hand of these blue-haired, musty pussy idiots that we call teachers it just sounds like a fucking nightmare. It does sound frightening, so I'm not going to lie about that. So, but what do we do? What do we do when, we just read some of those comments and they're like, yeah, I'm proud of my girl. It's like, get her out of the school system. You know what I'm saying? Get her out of there. Until we have parents doing that in mass. And you know what? In some areas, we do have parents doing that because some schools are starting to shut down because there's less people going to them. I think we need to push homeschooling. That has to become, if society is to sustain itself, right? Which I don't know that it is, right? Because there's not even people getting married and having kids. There's not even families anymore, right? But if it is to sustain itself, we cannot continue to use this current indoctrination system, which fucked up my generation and past generations in and of itself. And let's just keep continuing with it. It can't work. It's not going to work. It'll never work. So if ever we're going to get on the right track as far as education in this country, we're going to have to stop relying on public schools to do it. They're at best in you know, a lot of the hoods and a lot of inner cities, they're at best pathways to the prison industrial complex or the military industrial complex, and worse, just places where kids learn how to be unqualified corporate drones, because that's all that's happened in the past, you know, whatever many years. So thank you for actually bringing that to my attention. I'll do some more research on it personally. Ascension dildo, and that'll be it. We've gone 3 hours. Yeah, homeschooling won't be possible for the majority, but I think if you can make it more possible, you know what might happen with homeschooling, Ascension dildo, and this is my hope. If more people start doing it, then there'll be more resources to help it go along. I talked about some of the negatives and we talked about it with the iPad learning, right? But modern technology does mean that your kid can learn quite a bit. I mean, you'll learn more from the internet than you'll learn in school anyway, right? So there is a potential path that you could have, if not homeschooling, outside of the indoctrination system schooling of some sort of it's almost like you redo schools, but just in it like a homeschooling thing. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, but just if there was some informal way of it not being a part of the public school. I guess they have charter schools is kind of what those things exist. Charter schools, private schools. We know private schools are expensive, and we know private schools do a lot of the same evil shit. Homeschooling, unfortunately, isn't practical for everybody, but maybe it can be more practical if more people do it. You know, maybe more resources will get poured into it to make it a little bit more accessible to other people. I'm kind of spitballing, 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. So I may not have the best ideas, but hopefully, if everybody who could did, that would still make an impact. And I don't think that everyone who can does. I think a lot of people still trust in the indoctrination camps that we call schools. So that'll do it for the night. I appreciate everybody watching this live, the playback, or the clips. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. And you know what? That is a good point. There's an issue with atomization of kids with homeschooling too, but I guess it's better than this shit. Hey, we're not perfect as people. There's no perfect system. But listen, homeschooling, how else did we educate ourselves for years and years? You know what I mean? We used to educate at home, apprenticeships. So yeah. All right. Salute to the West Soy. Salutes to all you guys. Talk to you guys later.